Hey, I've got a question for you. Yes, you. Don't run away. I'm being serious. How are we as citizens of Canada supposed to respond to what's happening in Ottawa today? This is no longer about surviving mask mandates or vaccine passports. It's about the threats and how, in fact, it's about the arrests of your fellow Canadians who made a decision to stand peacefully for you. Yes, you, your children, your grandchildren. They're in Ottawa to stand for your rights guaranteed under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which is the highest governing law of Canada. Look, I'm no lawyer, I'm your friend. I'm your neighbor. And I deeply care for the people taking a stand for my family today in Ottawa. Are our hearts so dim, and have we forgotten that our national anthem boldly proclaims that we stand on guard for each other, even when we disagree with them? What's happening this week, in fact, what's happening this very day in Ottawa, at the whim of our Prime Minister, is not just embarrassing, it's an international disgrace. Instead of speaking with her own citizens, our federal government stomped on her, using her reaching military authority and outright divisive lies. Canadians used to be seen around the world as champions of peace, compassion, and freedom. Her sons and daughters gave their lives to protect the freedom and make peace for those who could not defend themselves. And now the world looks upon Canadian governments as an abusive parent, drunk on power, desperately willing to squash her own children. An equally great tragedy, even though Canada's government-owned media spews out lies and misinformation, the nations of this world can actually see what's happening. They stand silent and do nothing. Shame on you. In the Bible, Jesus tells a story about a man who was traveling along a dangerous road to get to his destination. Somewhere along that path, robbers attacked him. They robbed him and they left him for dead. A good person walked by and saw him injured, and he crossed over on the other side of the street and ignored the man's condition. Another good man came upon this desperate traveler and likewise walked away. Each of these people were concerned about what might happen to them if they happened to stop and help. A third man walked by. He was a foreigner who hated the robber and his people. But when he saw the person in need, beaten, traveled, and stomped on, seeing him in pain, he had compassion on him. And he bandaged up his wounds and he took care of them and he paid for all of his needs. Unlike the first two men who were worried about what might happen to them if they stopped to help, the third man asked himself, what will happen to this man if I don't do anything to help him? That's what's happening today. America, England, are you so afraid of what might happen to you if you stop and help your brothers and sisters in Canada? We're family. We need your help. Are you so concerned with your image on the world stage that you won't lend a hand when we really need you? And what about your fellow Canadians, our fellow Canadians? Are you content to just walk by? Perhaps there is a day when you need to just stand by, walk aside, and worry about your own problems. I get it, but that's not my message. Today is not that day. Today is the day that you stand on guard for what's happening in Ottawa because of our government. Today is the day that you stop playing and turning your head, telling your brothers and sisters that they don't matter. Someone has to take a stand, and if it's not you, then who will? Listen, I'm a Christian. I'm not perfect, and there's a lot of people way smarter than me. But as a follower of Jesus, I'm not willing to allow my fellow Canadians stand alone. I believe that I need to love God with all of my heart, mind, soul, and strength. And I believe that I have to love my brother and sister standing in Ottawa as much as I love my own family. You don't have to agree with everything your family stands for, but they're your family, standing on guard for you, defending our laws and our land. These peaceful protesters are doing something for you because if they don't, tomorrow's in trouble. God, please keep our land.